Oh my god, Paimons VA, Karina Bulger. The content that just keeps on giving. So apparently, uh Paimons VA, Karina, lost her mind again. Because apparently Ventis VA that's I remember I saw it was a TikTok that Ventis VA said that she wasn't gonna be voicing 5.6, but um she's trying to deal with the politics that way she can continue voicing the game later on. And which sucks because I think Venti is going to be a big part in 5.6, and that's not going to be a voice. That's going to suck. But no, but apparently her saying that caused like so many issues. And you know what's interesting is like all these other VAs. I think all these other VAs kind of learned their lesson and learned that they need to shut the fuck up and stop talking. But apparently Paimon's VA hasn't figured that out yet. Apparently Paimon thinks opening her mouth even more is going to help her situation. So let's see the next crash out. Let's see this happen again. Let's see what's gonna happen again. I'm curious. What does she do now?
Even crazier. Yesterday, hopefully you saw that video. We were talking about the situation with Ventis via Erica and how she has been participating in the strike against Hoyoverse and that Venti won't be voiced by her in 5.6, but she's trying to come back for 5.7. So in other words, despite Erica having participated...
So then, unironically, did we just get spoiled for 5.7 since she's saying that she's going to try to come back for 5.7, so we know Venti's going to be in 5.7. So does that mean there's going to be a story continuation of 5.7? Are we getting spoiled for 5.7?
Participated in the strike against Hoyoverse, it looks like she's now trying to break away from it, to which she has also told us that she's getting these threatening letters from SAG. Now, it looked like Karina, the VA for Paimon, had essentially responded to this, retweeting a bunch of stuff or reposting a bunch of stuff on her Blue Sky account from other VAs like Kyle McCarley, who is the VA for Mob in Mob Psycho.
Oh, shit.
And these remarks from like Kyle...
I haven't watched Mob Psycho Season 2 yet. I know it's old and I know I'm very late, but I haven't watched the second season for Mob Psycho. Is there a third season too? Are there three seasons? I know there's a second season, but is there a third season? Because I love the first season, but I never watched the second season.
And Karina are essentially insulting Erica, to put it lightly, but for all that context, please consider watching yesterday's video. And in this video, we've got to actually take a look at Karina herself making statements towards Erica, and it's like Karina's going like full aggro mode, dude. Karina, yesterday we were speculating, like it wasn't really speculation.
Dog, she's been going full aggro the entire time.
Like Karina's mad at Erica. But yeah, based off what we're going to take a look at now in this video and new statements that Karina has made going after Erica, it looks like Karina is extremely mad. Oh, and apparently some of these people on Blue Sky are mad at me too. They're angry at me for making videos like this, talking about the stuff that they're doing.
Because so liars don't like the truth. That's all it is.
Us to this post on our Genshin Impact from 4 hours ago.
These voice actors being mad at us for simply just reiterating what they're saying, and then like you have to understand these people are actually just getting mad at the player base for simply just questioning what they're saying. And because they don't have an answer, they're like, oh, well, you're just stupid and you listen to the YouTubers. Then who should we listen to? Your ass? We should listen to your ass? The person who's making a video and puking in front of a toilet? That's who we should be listening to? Like, the fuck?
That reads, Karina says Erica is an adult and essentially should have known better. She should have known better. Okay, Karina, let's see what Karina says. I urge you to go find the tweets that Kyle McCarley actually laid out what is exactly in those letters. I personally wouldn't call them threatening myself, but that's my opinion. But everyone knows.
You know what's funny is that now she's going aggro against her own voice actors. That's insane. Like, she's now actually going against her own voice actors for no reason. I'm gonna be real, for no fucking reason at all. Like, dog, stop talking, Karina. Straight up.
Knows that if you work non-union work in our union, not...
You know what the sad thing is? You know what the very sad thing is? As much as people want her to be replaced, I don't think they're actually going to replace Karina. I really don't. Because you have to understand, Paimon has hundreds of thousands of lines in this game. Paimon has thousands of lines in this game. Like, she talks the most and doesn't stop talking at all. Like, the amount of fucking paperwork, recording, re-recording, time that's gonna take to re-record all those fucking lines. Hoyoverse has the resources to do it. Don't get me wrong, they have the resources to do it, but I just don't think they want to go through that trouble. I really don't. I really don't think they want to go through all that bullshit to re-record all the lines from the beginning of the fucking game for Paimon, if they recast her. So I actually think, as much as we want her to get replaced, I really don't think they're going to replace her. I actually think she has her job security is very high just because of the fact that she voices the mascot of the game. And at this point, she has way too many lines that I feel like it's just gonna be complete bullshit to re-record. Like, it's just gonna be too much of a fucking asshole. So I actually think they're not gonna replace her.
FICOR, the union could find out. All unions have union rules. Calling something threatening when she is an adult that read the rules like everyone else, she didn't go FICOR, and she still borked these rules, guys. I wouldn't call that threatening. I am FICOR, have been for a long time. I followed SAG rules, so no, I didn't get a letter. It's not a special exception. This is very clearly stated in SAG rules. So yeah, the messages that Karina is likely referring to from Kyle McCarley.
By the way, isn't Karina being FICOR just a complete contradiction of the fucking strike itself? I find it very
interesting that Karina and Kyle McCarley seem to know what Erica got in those letters, despite Erica not actually posting the letters. I don't believe at least she ever posted letters publicly unless I missed it, which I'm pretty sure I didn't, because they would be all over the Genshin Impact subreddit and people would be tagging me to all that stuff and whatnot. So highly unlikely that she did post that stuff. But the point is, they're making so many assumptions here. For example, Kyle McCarley saying, SAG-AFTRA staff has jurisdiction to contact members about violations of Global Rule 1, which could result in censures, fines, suspension, membership, ban from the union, etc., etc. So making the assumption that she's getting threatening letters from SAG about breaking Global Rule 1.
Bro, all Erica has to do is just post a picture of the fucking letters and be like, y'all are threatening me? I bet. But then again, that would probably dox her. So it's probably better to not do that.
Or they're not making assumptions and they actually know what's in those letters. Which, if they actually know what's in the letters that Erica got, would be extremely suspicious and make it look like they might have some involvement in what's going on behind the scenes to go after some of these VAs who are going against the strike and going against the union. But again, I'm not saying that's a fact. I'm simply trying to put the pieces of the puzzle together. Now let's return to Reddit and take a look at some of the top responses, and then we've got more stuff from Karina to go over. This top response reading, why does Karina keep moving the goalposts? First time it was about AI protection. Second time it was about wanting Genshin to go union because some VA are union. Third time it was about supporting the union VA strike. Fourth time, bullies a non-union, non-USA VA, even though he isn't even joining the strike, and not even in the US. Fifth time, she said it wasn't actually a strike, and she totally agrees that it was just a work refusal. Sixth time, it was about VA should follow global rule number 1, and everyone should respect the strike. Again, agrees it was a work refusal. That's a consistent thing with all of these VAs who are a part of the strike. They're inconsistent. A lot of them have made very hypocritical statements. A lot of them can't.
That's really the biggest issue. It's just they just contradict themselves. It's just inconsistencies. It's like, brother, they keep saying it's AI protection, but like even in the memo for the strike itself, AI is only brought up like 10 times. In like 62 pages of the fucking document. It's like, brother, like what are you actually fighting for? And they can never say. They just keep saying it's AI, it's AI, it's AI. Well, it's like, brother, Hoyoverse has AI protection. They don't even need to do it, but they have AI protection. And when they didn't, they got rid of the studio that didn't have it and got another studio that has the AI protection. So it's like, what is your point?
Can't get their story straight. But to be fair, yeah, Karina does seem like probably the most exceptional of all of them. We'll take a look at two more top comments here.
Exceptional.
How quickly she went from respect the VAs to VAs that should respect SAG's rules.
The turnaround, the 180.
Says, it's not respect of VAs, it's respect of VAs in my clique. The clause is important, yeah. Clique of a bunch of toxic weirdos. Okay, now two more actually. It's only respect of VAs they like who deserve the respect. Only them and their friends get a pass. Everyone else can kick rocks, it seems. They'll lead the mob even, so long as everyone defends poor little old them and their buddies. Only the Karina Club matters. And then this one says, can whoever advised Kaching's VA to stop talking about this advise her to be quiet now too? Well, yeah, so this is also really funny because Karina has seemingly made it her whole thing to bootlick for SAG. But at the same time, as we see here, she talks about being FICOR.
Yeah, it's like, dog, it's like, I don't know what is up with Karina. Like, just stop talking. Half the reason why, the biggest reason why people are shitting on her so much is because she doesn't stop talking. Like, just stop talking. Nobody's on your side, and you can't get anyone on your side. We're past that point. Nobody wants to be on your side. The amount of people that just want you gone, like, brother, just stop fucking talking. Like, oh my god, but she can't do that. Bro, she can't. It's so hard for her to stop talking that like she had to record a video of her throwing up in a toilet. She couldn't wait to not throw up in order for her to record. Oh my god, this woman is so dumb.
But over on SAGAFTRA.com, they have a whole page dedicated to talking about why people should not be FICOR, including extremely pompous stuff like this. I do not want to contribute to the race to the bottom in wages and working conditions. I want to stand up to corporate greed. Oh yeah, just bootleg for SAG's greed.
That's right.
You change out one corrupt thing for the other. And then, by the way, in a lot of these cases, people now have to deal with a corrupt corporation still, and a corrupt union, that being SAG-AFTRA, on top of it. So congratulations, you got 2 for 1. The bottom line will be driven down for actors and our agents if advisors feel they can hire talent for less. And we'll read this one too. I'm not willing to put myself on sale and jeopardize my safety and well-being on a non-union set. Put yourself on sale, huh? And lastly, we'll take a look at this section where they say, Financial core / FICOR / FPNM are viewed as scabs or anti-union by SAG-AFTRA members, directors, and writers, most of whom also belong to entertainment unions. So Karina, the union that you keep bootlicking for, well, they view you as a scab who's putting yourself on sale and racing to the bottom.
Yeah, legit. That's what I said earlier. It's like I saw her being FICOR is like a complete contradiction.
Why union actors are better actors than those lowly non-union people. This is something we've talked about plenty.
Bro, I remember I read that they said that, and I was like, dog, ain't that just straight racist? and bro, I'll keep it real. Kuro Games and even Genshin with the new voice actors for like Verisa and Aoife. Trap, they're just proving that that's just not the case. Like, bro, Kanish sounds great, Verisa sounds good, and they're all European. Like, I mean, Kanish is Japanese. It's like, brother, you don't need to be American to have good voice acting.
Plenty of times in prior videos. But you know what, guys? I'm really starting to wonder here. We all know how toxic and corrupt SAG seems to be, but even for them, maybe they take a look at Karina and they think, yeah, normally we want everyone to join SAG, but for her, yeah, she can stay FICOR. She can stay out. We don't want her. Keep her away. And meanwhile, we got Karina.
Why would you want her?
SAG is the greatest thing ever. 7 minutes ago, things got even more complicated because this post just came in that reads, Erica said that FICOR members are also being targeted by SAG-AFTRA, despite following their strike rules. Oh boy.
Goddamn.
Considering it's specifically
That's
about
a no-no.
FICOR, it feels like it's more than just Global Rule 1. Are you telling me the speculation those VAs were posting on Blue Sky that they were presenting as fact was in fact speculation and might be incorrect? Oh my
god, who would have thought?
This response saying, just go FICOR, bro. Erica saying, the letters are being sent to FICOR actors along with full union members, so... And then this one that says, yikes. So on what basis are they sending the letters? I'd somewhat understand if it's for breaking Global Rule 1, but even the FICOR? On what grounds would they do that? This whole situation is just weird. Erica responds, saying, honestly, I don't know. It's crazy, too, because everyone, I think, getting letters also has followed all strike rules, even the suggested ones.
What's with those air quotes?
So, is the implication there that the letters are, though, in fact, about breaking rules, just not Global Rule 1? Let's read that part one more time. It says,
I'm going to be real. I don't think they enforce Global Rule 1 at all. I think Global Rule 1 is more of a figurehead more than an actual, like, rule. Like, I'm going to be very honest. They're very wishy-washy with Global Rule 1. Let's just be fucking honest, man. Like, I think Global Rule 1 is more of just like a figurehead that people can see it and be like, oh, so that's what it's all about. But the reality is, I don't think they enforce that shit at all.
Letters also has followed all strike rules, even the suggested ones. So yeah, based off that, it does sound like SAG is saying that people are breaking rules in these letters. That is still, of course, just speculation. It would be really nice if someone were to post one of these letters, then we could really see for sure.
Yeah, legit.
But,
I think Erica just needs to post a letter.
Continue to get more interesting, it seems. This whole thing, though, just makes me even more in, like, disbelief because it all seems so unnecessary, doesn't it? None of this had to happen. People didn't need to hold this, like, unofficial strike against Hoyoverse. They could have just all kept voicing their characters, but no.
Honestly.
Had to go try and...
Yeah, because you gotta remember, this technically isn't a strike. By law, this isn't a strike. This is a collective work refusal. So Hoyoverse doesn't need to follow this at all. Because it can't be enforced by law, because technically it's not a fucking strike. So Hoiverse doesn't even need to listen at all. It's actually wild.
more out of the bag wasn't good enough, and let's lie to the public and say it's all about AI protections too. Surely that's going to go well, right? And as many people have pointed out, for the first few months or so, a lot of people in the fandom were supporting these VAs. But as people looked into stuff,
Yeah,
because
they just blindly trusted them, and it's like
began to get more and more toxic and mad. Thankfully, Erica's not one of them who was really toxic and mad. It's just too bad that she's a part of it. But you know what I mean? Like VAs like Haley.
yeah, no, she's guilty by association, which sucks, but you know, it is what it is.
Et cetera, et cetera. But yeah, didn't have to happen. Didn't have to be this way. But this is the path that they chose, and now here we are. Here's what I think might be happening. It's an unofficial strike, as Joe Z just said, a collective work refusal. It's not a part of the main video game strike that is officially going on with SAG against a number of companies. But the reason why we saw SAG getting involved, for example, the tweet that they made at Hoyoverse and retweeting at Neris, trying to get Hoyoverse to sign this agreement, is because a number of these VAs in SAG may have gotten SAG to at least try and be like the mediator, be like the middle party, to at least like forward the agreement to Hoyoverse to try to get them to sign the agreement to facilitate the transaction, so to speak, while their collective work refusal is still not like an officially sanctioned strike. Perhaps that's kind of what's going on. And now maybe SAG is upset with these VAs because they could be concerned that all of this bad publicity from this specific collective work refusal may end up negatively impacting their official.
Real quick, I know I'm paying attention to what he's saying, but brother, is this Marvel Rivals? Why does this shit look like? Why does shit look like Paladins? It's like, why does everybody look like straight out of Dungeons and Dragons? Like, is this a game mode? Like, it doesn't look like Marvel Rivals at all. At least the characters. This looks like this has to be like some sort of game mode. I haven't played Marvel Rivals, so and honestly, I don't know if I will. I'm too like burnt out from Overwatch. Like, I don't think maybe I'll try Marvel Rivals. I don't know. I'm just Overwatch kind of killed team-based player games for me. Because last team-based player game I played was Rainbow Six Siege, and I haven't played that in a while. So I don't know. Maybe I will play Marvel Rivals, but I don't know what the fuck's going on here.
Strike. They're worried about the fallout that's going on from this hurting their official strike, especially because there have been comments from SAG, including comments made from their executives at convention panels. They rely on the public supporting the official strike, and helping them pressure companies. So yeah, if they think this Hoyover situation is now crossing over to their official strike and costing them support for that too, they're definitely not going to be happy. That is my theory, at least based off the information that I currently have. Of course, maybe my opinion will change, but right now I think that's
it's
pretty
sound.
much what I'm thinking is going on. The big question now, though, is what exactly is up with these threatening letters? It sounds like we may be able to presume.
They need to post these letters. I think Erica really needs to post this letter so that she can validate what she's saying. Because right now it's just hearsay. It really is. I think Erica really needs to post a letter, but at the same time, she's not someone that's being pressured. Like she's not someone that's being hated on right now because she did the one thing that these other VAs can't do, and she didn't tweet. So right now she's like one of the few voice actors that isn't hated right now. So I don't think people are gonna pressure her to post it, which is good. I don't think people should. But if we're gonna get the letter, it's definitely not gonna be from Erica. That's what I believe. So I don't know where we're gonna get these letters, or if we're gonna get them at all. But I think one of these letters needs to be posted in order to validate what's going on.
That SAG is accusing people of breaking rules, including FICOR people. But of course, we don't know for sure unless someone happens to post them. And Karina was not done there. In response to Erica saying,
does she ever stop talking?
SAG's been sending
Bro, she literally is Paimon in real life. She doesn't stop talking. Like, she's just digging her own grave at this point.
Threatening letters to us. It's been very complicated. I'm coming back soon.
Genuinely, I think Paimon's going to be her only role for the rest of her life. Because honestly, I don't think they're going to replace her because she just has way too many fucking lines. And it's just going to be too much of a hassle to re-record all those lines. If Hoyoverse does it, I think it'd be good. They do have the resources to do it. Don't get me wrong. They're a $1 billion company. They have the resources to re-record her lines. It's just a matter of time and like scheduling and paperwork and all that shit. Like it's just gonna be more cumbersome, I believe. So that's why I think they're not gonna replace her. Genuinely, I think Paimon's going to be the only role she's ever going to have for the rest of her career. Straight up. Because no one is going to want to work with with a woman who doesn't stop tweeting like this. Like, brother, get off Twitter straight up. Someone needs to take her phone and just not give it to her whenever she feels like tweeting. Oh my god, bro.
If it had been my choice, I would have been voicing the whole time. Karina had this to say. Erica is not FICOR. She technically shouldn't have been working on Genshin at all. Isn't that what a lot of you have been saying?
Neither should you. You've been working out. Oh my god, this bitch is so dumb.
Like Joe said, when an actor works off the card, they are taking the risk. She knew the risks. She took it. Some of the top comments about this over on Reddit read, did they turn on Erica? Dang, my impression of them has been hitting rock bottom for a while, but now it is straight up penetrating through the bedrock to go even lower. How much more terrible can they be? And this response reading, it's crazy. Back then, these people are making IRL content hanging out, and now they're all talking terrible about each other behind their backs. Crazy world we live in.
I think that's just the entertainment industry straight up. Like how many streamers and content creators have been outed to be horrible people because behind the scenes they're just pieces of shit. I mean, brother, I don't even watch any VTubers. Like the only VTuber I watch is Smugalana, and I'm getting all this information about Cinder being shoved in my face about all these VTubers being shitty people behind the camera. It's like, bro, dog, that's just the entertainment industry. Like you'd be amazed how many people are actually pieces of shit behind the camera and all that. Like it's wild.
Yeah, that's just how the VA industry is. Anyone who saw the whole Vic situation in 2019 definitely can attest to that.
Yep,
that was
there
a
you go.
huge point of contention back then.
Yeah, I remember that shit. I was so like, what the hell, dog? Especially since there was like really no evidence to back up the claims against Vic. I was like, dog, this is really fucked up. Like the whole Vic Mignogna situation. I wonder if he ever was able to make a comeback. Because I actually don't know. Because I know he lost a lot of roles because of that. I wonder if he ever made a comeback. Probably not with the way the the VA industry works based on what we're seeing. But yeah, I remember that happening. It was just a sad time.
Just to specify that more, when I say VA industry, I'm specifically talking about some of the stuff that goes on here with these clicks in the US with these English dub voice actors. Karina is even getting called out all over Blue Sky. So we're back at this post that we just read from Karina, and these are some of the responses right at the top. Justifying SAG threatening your coworkers now, are we? Almost like we were right all along, and this was never about protecting the rights of VAs. Your behavior is repulsive. I hope you can one day look in the mirror and feel shame, but I feel you are too narcissistic to gain self-awareness. And this is why so many companies...
I'm sorry, it's just, I see all these paragraphs like, you're a horrible human being, you're a blacklist, for the love of Christ, all this, and it's just over here, you're a psychopath. I just find that very funny.
Gaming and animation alike have you by now on their blacklist. No one wants to work with a scab who has no empathy. Pray Hoyo keeps you, because it'll be your last acting job and pay for that 50 quid. You're a psychopath. Do you have an ounce of empathy for others, or is it strictly reserved for yourself? Get off the internet. You're embarrassing. We got Pomeranian of Doom. This is one of Karina's favorite people. Let's see what they say, probably defending her. Why do so many fans automatically interpret Karina's comments with hostility?
Dog. Straight up attacking the VAs. How else are we supposed to take it? Like, brother.
Well, yeah, I wonder why. Overtly hostile comments. Why are people interpreting this like they're hostile? They're just stating the factual nature of the situation. SAG-AFTRA is likely cracking down on members under Hoyoverse contracts because the situation has escalated, as Hoyoverse is not replacing VAs. Because she has been a scumbag since she called Jacob a scab, while being a scab herself since ages. Because she insulted players and other VAs who disagree with her. Because she lied about money and other things countless of times. Pick the one you prefer. And yeah, it's only a few things. There's a much longer list than that. Jacob is here's Pomeranian of Doom's response. Jacob is objectively a strikebreaker, scab.
And can we also point out that of course the dumbest person in this subsection is the one with the anime profile picture. Can we all just point that out? That the dumbest person here is the one with the albedo. I think that's albedo. I don't know. It's just this is a blonde dude. It looks like albedo. It's probably not albedo, but it's the dumbest person here is the one with the anime profile picture. Just want to point that out.
Or whichever terminology one prefers to use. Whether he intends to be or not, that is the role he has served with this context. Furthermore, Karina themselves has not denied that they are serving as one themselves. However, even if we were to grant that they have made inappropriate comments online before, I'm unfamiliar with the matter, frankly. That's what you're going to go with? You're unfamiliar with the matter when you're like constantly responding to everything Karina says on Blue Sky, and you can
Yeah,
very
legit.
clearly see that stuff for
You're
yourself. But
talking
hey,
as if you know the matter,
sure, okay,
but for some
right.
reason you're unfamiliar.
Not familiar
Okay.
with it. This does not therefore mean that every comment that they make is with hostility. You are priming yourself to interpret Karina's comments with hostility because you have already built a mental profile of who you believe that they are, but outside of how you like their tone or whether they have made mean comments or not, do you know what actual principles they stand for? So
Honestly, I don't even think they do. Straight up, I don't even think they know. Because every time they open their mouth is a contradiction. Every time they open their mouth, it's hypocrisy. So honestly, I don't even think they know what they're standing for.
first of all, this is actually like a false premise here. No one said that every single comment Karina makes is with hostility. They're simply saying that the openly hostile comments are indeed hostile, which they are.
Yeah,
Pomeranian
and she's just an
continues,
idiot.
Let me ask you a quick question. I want to paint a rather insightful dichotomy for you. Who is the better person? Someone who is polite and uncontroversial but otherwise apathetic towards injustice, or someone who is rude but has an intrinsic desire for the betterment of humanity?
And you're saying that's supposed to be Karina?
Self-righteous, dude.
Holy fuck.
If you believe Karina to be rude, then maybe I can offer some insight as to one potential reason why. Karina has been harassed, mobbed, and
Wow, why is this guy going on such a rant for Karina? Like, brother, I would say she's not gonna fuck you, but like, brother, she's not even that hot. Honestly, she's kind of below average. This is coming from a bald. This is coming from me, and I'm bald. Like, brother, why does this guy fight so hard for Karina?
insulted in numbers by fans. On top of this, they had to watch as injustice after injustice plagues this country, while most people watch in apathy, or in many cases, as people cheer on its impending destruction. What the frick kind of terminally online brain rot are you posting right now, dude? Where you're talking about this VA situation,
guy's a
you
lost
start going on
cause.
about the whole country. Like, you can't even have a discussion without getting all crazy. Seriously?
Brother,
This is the same person, by the way, who accused every single one of us of being alt-right for criticizing SAG.
brother, he's going off on like being the betterment of humanity. Like, dog, this guy's like creating wars in his own head to justify Karina's stupidity. It's insane.
Not surprising at all that they're making some unhinged rant right here and can't even focus on the main topic at hand. And trust me, this is an anger that I have felt far too much myself. Oh, I believe it. Yeah, you seem like a very angry, like very weird, angry person.
That
However, I have the
clearly
fortunate
needs to
blessing of
get
not
off the
being
fucking
reviled
internet.
by a mob over a petty drama on the internet, and it has been hard for me. Then I can only imagine that it has been hard for them too. Dude, go outside. What the frick?
How empathetic.
I'm sorry, Karina, but this is unacceptable. I gave you the benefit of the doubt because I felt sorry for your situation, but saying that Erica brought this on herself is despicable. She shouldn't be getting threatening letters from an organization that's supposed to protect her rights. She literally agreed to follow the rules. The threatening letters are just enforcing those rules. She chose to break the rules knowing she agreed to follow them. At any point, she can go FICOR if she doesn't like the rules. She is not being held hostage. This is entirely her choice. And where's your proof that she broke rules?
Yeah,
she
like
been voicing Venti and Genjin, so that can't be it.
So what did
Here
she
you
do?
go. And links to that post from the mob VA Kyle McCarley that we talked about briefly in this video and more extensively talked about yesterday. And there's no evidence in that post.
It's
The
just a
dude is
tweet.
Speculating.
Yeah.
I love how often you see this on the internet, usually on like Twitter, Reddit, and apparently also Blue Sky, where
Bro, these people on the internet, it's like they use like baseless accusations and just speculations as like verifiable evidence that something happened. Like, brother, this is why so many people are accused of rape. Because people would just go on Twitter and be like, he raped me, and then people would be like, oh my god, verifiable evidence, a tweet. And it's like, brother, dog, this is all speculation. There's no evidence. What rule could she have broken? She wasn't voicing the game. Oh my god, man.
someone will ask for evidence of something, and the other person responds by linking to a post that's just text with no evidence and is also probably just an opinion. We'll take a look at a few more responses to Karina here. This is funny, coming from the same person who had an 8-minute long rant about why SAG was the only good option. This clearly shows how scummy SAG-AFTRA is, and that's suddenly okay? Talk about lack of empathy. Not to mention, a lot of indie companies who did not want to sign the interim got blacklisted by SAG. They even had anti-AI clauses. And before I forget, why are you still voicing Paimon if you're so pro-SAG then? Shouldn't you be standing in solidarity with your peers? Don't be a hypocrite either.
Yeah, and honestly, and legitimately, she probably has the most power in this entire quote unquote strike, collective work refusal. She has it because she's fucking Paimon. She's the mascot of the biggest game of the fucking industry. She has the most power. if she really wanted to change, she would stop voicing Paimon. And honestly, I think a lot of people would actually prefer that. But the point is that she's the voice of the mascot of the biggest game in the fucking industry right now. But I don't know. I guess her morals aren't as important as her fucking paychecks. Oh my god.
Yeah. That person already knows. The heck is wrong with you? Coward. You run the blue sky because you got exposed on Twitter? Have some empathy and be quiet. What happened on Twitter? From what I've heard, she just keeps getting community noted and called out, so she moved over here. Taking a brief look over on Karina's blue sky profile to see if...
Oh yeah, I forgot. Apparently Karina's supposed to be non-binary. Yeah, I don't really give a fuck.
Karina's made any additional statements on any of this stuff. It doesn't seem like there is. Just returning to reposting people like Little Kribo and Kyle McCarley. Oh, but look at this. Karina's reposting Kaiser Neko, and Kaiser Neko seems to be upset with Erica. We click this. This is, once again, a post about Erica, as we can see here. All the Kyle stuff we read yesterday, and then scrolling back to this post from Kaiser Neko. Let's read these, though, from Sonic Joshua. Haven't seen these yet. So get in the context. Sonic Joshua says, wait a sec. If Erica is getting a violation email, that means she was union, and no one knew till you just said so. Those emails could have had any context, but to be blunt for how it's been said, the usually handling of union members are kept private. This seems pretty open. All that to say, why snitch on her? To get heat off you? Because that's again showing selective punishment. Why no public lambasting to other such rule breakers to keep consistent? No, this doesn't make her breaking Global Rule 1 correct still, but just why? And Kaiser Neko says, she, Erica, publicly talked about it. And she did so vaguely while throwing the union under the bus. So now other people have to clarify. This is why she shouldn't have talked about it publicly. From what I've read from screenshots from this recent case, there was no direct mention of her being union, only talks of her talking with SAG. Now, if she did bring it up earlier and I was unaware, that's different and I apologize. One, people already knew she was union. This wasn't a new thing. Two, she never would have gotten those letters if she wasn't union. Well, apparently people who are FICOR are getting these letters too.
Yeah, so...
Again, I wasn't aware. Instead, if I missed something, let me know. Apologies, it took me 2 messages to understand. I can take an L on that one. I gotcha. Also, think about this another way. If nobody knew she was union and she started talking about those letters publicly, then that comes off as the union sending a non-union person threatening letters, and that's a whole new level of misinformation. Well, once again, we're now being told that FICOR people are apparently also getting these letters, so what's going on? Though I have to ask, if it was true people knew that she was union and this was public info, then why only now is she seemingly getting punished for breaking Global Rule 1? Wouldn't she have had to be punished all 4 years she's been working? Or is there something I'm missing here? If you read Kyle's thread, it's not likely she's being punished. It's because of multiple circumstances, not the least of which involving the union-sanctioned strike happening right now, that they're pulling rank. Unions are patient with members dipping into non-union work, but there is a line. Oh, but sometimes when it's convenient for them, they encourage people to go work non-union, so they can try and flip that whole project to become...
Yeah, legit, like I said this before, Global Rule 1 is just a sham. Like, they don't enforce it at all. It doesn't really matter, especially since majority of voice actors, I think like 80% of their paid jobs are non-union. Like, so they don't even enforce their fucking rules at all. It's insane.
Union. So many hypocrisies going on with this union, man. And then we've once again got Little Kribo. He says, the letters are not a threat of punishment. They are sent out as a standard procedure when SAG receives a report. That report can be provided by anyone. The letter asks the actor for clarification. SAG has sent those out to anyone who gets reported. It is not targeted by SAG. It's also not a threat. So if that's true, which again, it seems to be more guessing games about what the letters are, but if that's true, it does sound like someone snitched. Here's what it sounds like.
And who's the snitch?
It sounds like a group of VAs in a clique at SAG are upset at Erica for trying to leave the strike. Maybe she's even trying to leave SAG, who knows? But we at the very least, we know she is trying to get away from the strike, it sounds like. And they're unhappy with that. So they report her to SAG, report her to the higher-ups, whatever division is responsible for this stuff over in the union.
This legit is some Mean Girl shit. Like, she got snitched on apparently, allegedly. And now she's getting these threatening letters that people are saying, oh, it's not really threatening. And the reason why she's getting so much heat is because she talked about it publicly because nobody knew that she was union. But it's like, okay, if nobody knew she was union, why the fuck is she getting the letters in the first place? It's like, brother.
That she's been working on Genshin and all this stuff, and she's breaking Global Rule 1. Now, it seems highly unlikely to me that SAG didn't know that she's been working on Genshin this whole time for years and years and years. So it seems like they would only really care if some of the other members, maybe certain members that have what's it called, like picking favorites sort of thing. If certain members,
there's 100%
favoritism
favoritism going on.
Maybe that's when they potentially take.
I wouldn't be surprised if favoritism and nepotism are running rampant in SAG-AFTRA. I would not be surprised if that's the case at all.
Action. My point is, all of this seems extremely corrupt and very suspicious. Okay, and here's the bonus comedy at the end of the video. If you made it to the end, thank you, and I hope you get a laugh from this. So Karina reposts Rick. And Rick is someone we talked about briefly in a video from the other day because he made this whole long post about people need to rebel against Hoyoverse.
His Twitter handle is dipshitactual. Why would we listen to somebody named dipshitactual? His name is legitimately dipshit. Why the fuck would I listen to a dipshit? What the fuck, man?
We need to uninstall the games, the Hoyoverse games, and we need to hold this rebellion. And it was freaking hilarious. And so Rick says this and gets reposted by Karina. So today, I uninstalled Genshin, finally got fed with Hoyo dragging their feet, not doing a dang thing to help the cast. Their latest batch of due to scheduling conflict.
Brother, what do you mean not help the cast? They went with Side Studio, a studio with AI protection. What the fuck are you on about? Like, they're with a studio that has AI protection, which is the thing you people keep saying this whole situation's about. Like, what the fuck?
Netflix, quote unquote, of JP trailers on their EN account was the last straw. Then I got an extra 100 gigabytes off my SSD and a slew of hate from a VTuber. Bro. I didn't call anyone in particular out either. I just made an angry post about the fans harassing the cast, and then suddenly the Fire Nation attacked. Wild times we live in. But wait, there's more. Karina also reposted Rick here, where he said, I was also in a similarly toxic vid, not sure if the same one, purely because I got fed up with the game as Hoyo kept doing the same due to scheduling conflicts cop-out in their new trailer, and I uninstalled. Might have made the mistake of making a big post about it on Twitter /
I honestly think that's just been them being very polite, which honestly I think Hoyoverse doesn't need to be, because they said due to scheduling conflicts, meaning they're trying to make sure you keep your reputation as a voice actor. They're saying, dude, they could have easily said, nah, because this person's a fucking idiot. They could have easily said in PR talk, oh yeah, because this voice actor is a fucking idiot, we don't want to work with them anymore. They could have easily said that, and honestly, people would have been on their side. But they're still saying, oh, but due to scheduling conflicts, right? So that way they can still have their reputation and still get jobs afterwards, so that they don't get blacklisted. So I honestly think them Hoyoverse saying that is just them being very polite, which honestly I don't even think they need to be. I legitimately think they can just go, yeah, we don't want to work with this voice actor because they're fucking stupid, and people would agree. People would not have an issue with that.
YouTube, but I stand by what I said. So if by any chance Rick is watching this video, nothing personal, bro. You got to understand the whole thing about like saying that you want to hold this rebellion against Hoyoverse, like people need to rebel against Hoyoverse and uninstall their games. That was just hilarious. Like, come on, bro. You got to see that was pretty funny. Like a rebellion, really. And yeah, uninstall their games if you want. No one has to play Hoyoverse games. I don't care about that. It was just a rebellion thing. That part was funny. But wait, there's still more, because he was responding to Kaiser Neko, who said, oh, someone made a video trashing on the union and the striking actors and highlighted me and Martin in it. That's why I've been getting weirdos with new accounts randomly being terrible to me. Cool. I mean, dude, I get negative comments on my videos all the time.
Bro, everybody
negative comments.
Everybody gets negative comments, bro. Play an online multiplayer game. You're gonna get told to kill yourself every day. Like, brother. Oh, somebody in my comments said you should kill yourself. Wow. Yeah.
It's just part of the being on the internet. You know, people are going to talk about the stuff you put out there on the internet. It is what it is. And like Kaiser Neko has been on the public, like been in the public space on the internet way longer than I have. So I'm sure he knows better about that than I do even. You know what? We actually have a little bit more to talk about here. I thought I was going to end the video at that point, but I just saw this from Little Karibo. It says, I'm friends with Erica, so I do not want to diminish her experience, but this is the letter. It is quoted here. If you find this threatening, I would genuinely like to hear which part. Linking back to Kyle McCarley.
So we're supposed to believe this is the actual letter? Like, this is supposed to be the letter that she got? We're supposed to believe that? Okay.
Kaiser Neko here said, quite frankly, she should not have been public about it. Even if that is the case, it's hugely irresponsible and unprofessional. So Kyle McCarley, VA for Mob, actually said more than I realized. My bad about that. He also said this. Several actors reached out to me after receiving a letter about past Global Rule 1 violations about a month ago. To my knowledge, none of them worked on Genshin. One showed me a screenshot of their letter. In the interest of protecting the actor's identity, I won't share the screenshot, but I'll quote from it. So we'll take a look at what this letter allegedly says. But let's also be clear that we don't know for sure if this is the same letter
legit
that
yeah,
Erica is talking about.
exactly.
Regardless, let's read this. It appears that by rendering services in redacted, you may be in violation of this rule. If so, you could be subject to reprimand, censure, fine, suspension from the rights of membership for a period of time, or expulsion from SAG-AFTRA after appearing before a disciplinary committee. It is possible the reports that you rendered services in redacted are mistaken. Even if accurate, there may be some mitigating circumstances that have not come to our attention to date. Please detail any such circumstances in your reply. And that's where the quote ends. So that's apparently the whole letter that this guy is talking about. He then goes on to make a bunch of posts about this, but
Seems very short,
I
but
don't
okay.
have the time now. I'm really out of time at this point. So make of all that what you will. As always, thank you for tuning in.
I'm good.
My apologies for the somewhat abrupt ending.
The situation just keeps getting weirder and weirder and dumber, and it's just, oh my god, bro. And at this point, we're all just looking at the train, waiting for it to crash and burn. Like, at this point, we really just sticking this out because we want to see how it ends. Like, I genuinely think if Hoiverse goes, yeah, we're replacing Paimon, or we've rewritten the story so that way Paimon can just die, I actually think a lot of people would actually reinstall Genshin. if they replace Paimon's voice actor, or if they like rewrite the story so that Paimon can just die, I actually think a lot of people would actually reinstall the game. What a future would that would be if that's the case. Like, Genshin would be saved just from them getting rid of Paimon. That'd be wild. Oh man. I wonder what stupidity is gonna happen next. Can't wait.